Sampson, and I'm the owner of Kelly's Secret. I have a booth out here. It's booth number 2, and I'd love it if you just stop by and see me. I had the very, very good fortune of being raised by a nutritionist and an RN. And so I think I learned that we are what we eat about the same time I learned how to walk, and grew up with a passion for health and wellness and nutrition, certainly. And in 2008, I had been working, my educational background is in behavioral sciences and leadership. And I took a little career detour for about 18 years into the legal field. But in 2008, there was a catalyst that brought me back into my real passion, which is health and wellness. And that was my late husband, Mike, was diagnosed with a very, very rare form of cholangiocarcinoma, bile duct cancer. And prognosis was extremely grim. And so I decided, you know, when someone that you love receives a diagnosis, you just feel somewhat helpless and powerless. So I decided, you know, there's one thing that I know that I can do, and that is I can focus on his nutrition to improve his immune system and give him the best quality of life. And so I put all my heart and soul and my energy into getting a team together and focusing on that. So together with my mother, the nutritionist, his oncologist who practiced both Eastern and Western medicine, and 2 naturopaths, we put together a great program, and we gave Mike, I think, what was truly the best quality of life he could have hoped for. So after he passed in 2009, I realized, you know what, I have passion for this. I'm not a registered dietitian, but I have a passion for wellness, and I want to do whatever it is that I think this is what I was meant to do. And while at a legal conference, it was a conference, a legal update for women, and what women's conference would be complete without somebody selling purses and jewelry and cosmetics. And so I made my way around to the various vendors and grabbed a catalog. At this time in my life, I had learned through Mike's treatment, many of his medications were given through the skin. And so I realized, do we really absorb everything that we put on our skin? And the answer to that is yes. I learned that within 26 seconds of putting any product on your skin or your hair, you absorb it into your bloodstream. So not only are we what we eat, but we're also what we absorb. So armed with that information, at that point in my life, I thought, you know what, this is definitely not going to happen to me. So I was shopping. I mean, I was making myself crazy, shopping for my cosmetics at one store. First, you have to know the ingredients, and you have to know what all those chemicals are in order to identify which ones you don't want to use. So I was buying a lot of stuff on the internet. My nutritional supplements, I was going to Whole Foods for some, I was going to Trader Joe's for some, and quite frankly, it took up a lot of time. So back to this legal conference, grabbed a catalog from the woman selling cosmetics, and really I was a skeptic. But I took it home and I flipped through it, and in the back of the catalog there is an ingredients list. And so I took it to my late husband's oncologist, who was also our neighbor, and said, would you just take a look at this? And I also gave it to my mom. And very shortly they both got back to me and said, well, first of all, I don't know why we haven't heard of this company, but second of all, we're quite impressed, not only with what's in the products, but even more importantly, what's not in them. And to me, that's the important thing. So fast forward, I started studying with this Dr. Bill Sears, who's a world-renowned physician, and he certainly focuses on nutrition. He's a cancer survivor. He survived colon cancer, and he and his wife, Martha Sears, developed a program. It's scientifically based, and there are many different components. What I focus my practice on is teaching his primetime wellness, primetime health program. And essentially what it is a series of 4 workshops that we do either individually or in groups. And we take a look at inflammation, and as we all know, inflammation leads to the autoimmune diseases that we're seeing on such a rise right now. Lupus, MS, arthritis, fibromyalgia, and they're all related to all of the free radicals and the inflammation that goes on in our body that is that we don't pay any attention to until we start breaking down in the second half of our life. Prime time is, unfortunately for some, in their 30s, but for most of us, it's the second half of our life, 40s through the end. So that's what we're looking at. So our workshops are Open Your Internal Pharmacy. This is scientific discovery that is the basis for his teachings in nutrition, was a Nobel Prize-winning scientific discovery, and that is that our bodies within the endothelium make their own medicines. It's a matter of learning proper nutrition and ways to release those medications, which are formulated for our own individual bodies. And so we teach how you do that, how you identify what went wrong, and how you train your body to make medicines. The second program within the 4-course series is Make Health Your Hobby. And it teaches you a lot about various recipes and shopping lists and what to avoid, what not to avoid. The third is Remove Waste from Your Waist. And I can tell you, Dr. Sears is not a person who preaches or teaches fad diets. There are no diets. It's just simply a matter of eating healthy. And we can teach you what that is and how to do it. And this is a plan that you can do for a lifetime. It's not something, it's not a vegan diet. It's not, we're not going to cut out any food group, but just make some really good choices that improve the antioxidants in your system. In fact, I thought I'd test my own skills, and I had out here at one of the booths, at the Mona V booth, you can have your antioxidants tested. And so I did. I stuck my finger in for 15 seconds for the first one, and I was very happy to see that because I'm practicing what I preach, I was in the really high range. So I said, let me do the 30-second test. And the gentleman who did the test said, you know what, I tested about 200 people, and you and one other person are in that range. So anyway, encourage you to go over there and get your antioxidants tested. The third class, Remove Waste from Your Waist, is not about losing weight, although that is a result of eating healthy and eating whole foods. And then the fourth and last class is Live Without Pain and Inflammation, and that is a really intense educational program on reducing inflammation. So that is what I do, and I want to just close up a little about me part of my presentation with a happy ending, which is actually a beginning. And I believe that another component to our overall wellness is our faith. And I have a very strong faith, and I believe that after Mike passed away, I think he had a pretty good view from up there. I mean, I really do. I think he probably went to God and said, you know, I have a great view from up here, and I have searched the world, and I've identified the perfect partner for Kelly. And I need your help, God. I need you to get them together, because he's in Pleasanton and she's in Santa Rosa, and there's pretty much no way they're going to find each other. God said, I like you. Done. And so in October, I married the most amazing man and moved to Pleasanton. I'm starting my life over, and I wake up every day thinking I'm the luckiest girl in the world. So that's a little about me and a little about what I do. Thank you so much for coming and listening to me. I appreciate that very, very much. you.